a black fin cuts through the cold surface of the sea. Beneath it moves one of the ocean's most intelligent predators. It is not a shark. It is not a monster from legend. It is a whale with the mind of a strategist, a hunter that works with family, a predator that teaches, remembers, and plans. This is the orca, also known as the killer whale. But its true power is not only in its teeth. It is in its brain. In the open ocean, strength matters. Speed matters. Size matters. But intelligence changes everything. Orcas do not simply chase prey. They study it. They coordinate with each other. They pass knowledge across generations. And in some places, they hunt like no other animal on Earth. To understand the orca, we must begin with the pod. An orca is rarely just an individual. It is part of a family system. Mothers, calves, siblings, and elders travel together. The pod is a school, a hunting team, and a home. Young orcas learn by watching adults. They copy movements, sounds, and hunting techniques. In the sea, knowledge can be as valuable as muscle. A calf must learn where to travel, what to eat, how to hunt, and when to stay close to the group. This social life makes orcas different from many predators. A shark may hunt alone, but an orca often hunts with a plan. The ocean becomes a chessboard. Each whale takes a position. Each movement changes the prey's choices. And when the moment is right, the pod strikes. Different orca groups hunt different prey. Some specialize in fish. Some hunt seals. Some chase dolphins. Some attack whales much larger than themselves. This is not random feeding. It is culture, a learned way of life, shared inside a group. One pod may know techniques another never uses. One family may speak with its own pattern of calls. The ocean is not filled with one kind of orca. It is filled with different orca societies. Their black and white bodies are instantly recognizable. The dark back blends with deep water from above. The pale underside blends with light from below. This pattern is called countershading. It helps the predator disappear from different angles. But orcas are not built only to hide. They are built to move with power. A muscular body drives through the sea. A tall dorsal fin slices the surface. The tail fluke pushes with explosive force, and the teeth are designed for gripping prey. Yet the body is only half the story. The rest is communication. Orcas live in a world of sound. They use clicks to explore their surroundings. These clicks bounce off objects and return information shape, distance, movement, and texture. In dark or murky water, sound becomes vision. Orcas also use whistles and calls to keep the pod connected. A calf knows the voices of its family. A pod may have a dialect of its own. To human ears, it may sound like clicks and whistles. To orcas, it may carry identity, location, and emotion. The pod is held together by sound. But when hunting mammals, some orcas become quiet. Because seals and dolphins can hear danger approaching, silence becomes part of the strategy. In one region, orcas hunt seals resting on ice. The seal thinks the floating ice is safety. But the pod sees a problem to solve. The orcas line up together. They swim toward the ice. In perfect timing, their bodies create a wave. The wave lifts the ice. The seal is washed into the water. The trap is complete. This technique is taught and practiced. Young orcas watch. Adults create waves. They learn the speed, angle, and timing. A mistake can let the seal escape. Precision matters. This is hunting as education. In other places, orcas beach themselves on purpose. They rush into shallow water to catch sea lions. It is dangerous. A whale stranded too long can die. But trained orcas know how to slide back with the waves. This is not instinct alone. It is learned skill. A hunting tradition passed from adult to calf. In colder waters, some orcas hunt herring. They herd fish into tight bowls, then slap the school with their tails. The shock stuns the fish, and the pod feeds together. Different prey. Different method. Some intelligence. This flexibility is why orcas sit at the top of the food chain. They can adapt to coastlines, iche, open water, and deep channels. They can hunt alone, in pairs, or as a full pod. They can change tactics based on prey. Intelligence makes them unpredictable. But orcas are not mindless killers. They are social mammals with complex lives. They play. They touch. They travel beside family for years. Some offspring may stay close to their mothers for life. Grandmothers can be especially important. Older females carry memory of roots and feeding areas. In difficult years, that memory can help the pod survive. The oldest animals are not useless. They are libraries of the sea. Their experience guides younger whales where to find salmon, when to move through narrow channels, and how to respond when prey changes. In a changing ocean, Memory matters. But not all orca populations are thriving. Some fish-eating orcas depend heavily on salmon. If salmon decline, the whales suffer. Pollution can build up in their bodies. Noise from ships can interfere with communication. Boat traffic can disturb feeding and travel. Even apex predators depend on healthy ecosystems. Being powerful does not mean being safe. The orca's world is connected to everything below it. Fish, seals, whales, currents, and human choices. Remove one piece, and the pod feels it. This is the hidden truth of the top predator. It stands high, but not alone. Orcas also reveal something uncomfortable about intelligence. Intelligence does not always look gentle. It can look like strategy. It can look like patience. It can look like a wave knocking a seal from ice. Nature does not separate cleverness from violence. For the orca, thinking is a hunting tool. Memory is a hunting tool. Family is a hunting tool. Culture is a hunting tool. That makes them fascinating and unsettling. They are beautiful. They are social. They are emotional. And they are lethal. Few animals combine these traits so completely. A shark may inspire fear through instinctive power. An orca inspires fear through understanding. It can learn what works. It can improve. It can teach. And it can remember. Imagine being a seal on floating ice. The water around you seems still. Then black fins appear in the distance. They do not rush randomly. They organize. The sea begins to rise. A wave hits the ice. The world tilts. The seal falls. The orcas close in. This is not brute force. It is engineering with water. Now imagine a school of herring. Thousands of silver bodies move as one. Orcas circle, compressing the school. Panic tightens the group. Then a tail strikes like a hammer. Fish scatter, stunned. The pod feeds with calm precision. Again, intelligence shapes the hunt. Orcas are not evil. They are predators shaped by survival. Their prey fights to live. The pod hunts to feed its young. The sea does not soften this truth. It only hides it beneath beauty. Black and white bodies move through blue water. Calves roll beside mothers. Fins rise against mountains and ice. The scene looks peaceful. But peace and predation can exist in the same animal. That is what makes orcas so compelling. They are not simple symbols. They are families with teeth, minds with fins, hunters with culture. In some communities, each pod has preferred foods. They may ignore prey. Another group would hunt. What you eat becomes part of who you are. Where you travel becomes memory. How you hunt becomes tradition. To lose a pod is to lose knowledge. Not just individuals, but a way of life. This is why conservation is more than counting animals. It is protecting cultures of the sea. A pod's calls, a pod's route, a pod's hunting lessons, a pod's memory. The Orca forces us to see the ocean as a living library. Every call is a name in the water. Every hunt is a lesson repeated through time. Every migration route is a sentence written across the sea. But learning takes time. And time is exactly what endangered groups may not have. When prey disappears, knowledge cannot replace food. When noise fills the water, calls cannot travel the same way. When pollution enters the food chain, predators carry the burden. The orca may be powerful, but it lives in our changed ocean. Ships cross its hunting grounds. Fisheries affect its prey. Chemicals move through its food. Climate shifts the timing of life. The future of orcas depends on more than admiration. It depends on decisions. Cleaner waters. Quieter ships. Protected habitats. Healthy prey populations. Respect for the space wild animals need. Because the orca is not only a spectacle, it is a mind, a family member, a teacher, a hunter, a voice in the sea. Imagine standing on a cold coastline. The water is gray and quiet. Then a fin rises. Then another. A pod moves through the channel. They breathe in rhythm. Mist lifts from their blowholes. Calves surface beside adults. For a moment, the sea feels ancient. Not empty water, but a road used for generations. The pod knows this place. Their mothers knew it. Their grandmothers knew it. Their calves are learning it now. This is culture moving through water. This is memory with a dorsal fin. This is the ocean, thinking in black and white. The orca's beauty is easy to see. Its intelligence is harder to measure. Its power is impossible to ignore. But its vulnerability is just as real. This is the paradox of the killer whale. It rules the sea, yet depends on the sea's health. It hunts with precision, yet lives through connection. It can terrify prey, yet care deeply for its young. It is both killer and kin. Somewhere now, an orca is listening. Sound moves through the dark water. A calf follows its mother's voice. A pod turns toward a hunting ground. A matriarch leads through memory. The sea opens ahead of them. Black fins rise and fall against the waves. The family moves as one, not just predators, not just whales, but one of the most intelligent societies in the ocean. The orca is the mind, the family, and the killer beneath the waves.